What's going on, everybody? We are back at it again with another pod. This is your boy, your homie, your favorite Native American, Jose Caruz. I hope everyone's doing great. We got the wifey on the board. What's up, Laura?
Hey, you got it.
You see how her switch just turned on? Like, hey, time to act. You know?
No, it's like he remembered this time.
Oh, yeah. I remembered the first 20 seconds of the podcast. Usually we go 40 minutes in, and I'm like, oh, yeah, the wife. You know? But today we got a special guest. We got the queen herself, man. One of my favorite peoples that I met a couple years ago via Zoom. This is actually our first time in person, which I'm honored. It's what's that saying? The ads are what they appear in real life. So it's like you get what you get with Alondra, and I love it. So we have Alondra today. Alondra, how are you doing?
I am doing really, really good. It's a beautiful day outside. I'm
is.
not dying of pollen and allergy issues. I'm like, okay, let's keep this going the rest of the day.
Come on. Yeah, and so, I mean, let's just jump straight into it. Let's get to know you. Let's get to everybody watching and listening. Know who you are, where you're from, what you do now for business and life, family, all that good stuff. And, let's start from there. Let's get to know you.
Well, I'm Alondra. I like long walks on the beach. I'm joking. Anyway,
no, don't joke. I do too.
Shoot, after being a single parent of 7 children
Wow.
for like ever, seems like, recently married about 2 years. We'll be 2 years in May. So, and we have a blended family. So I have my 7 children and he has 6.
Ooh, y'all got a team.
But yeah, it's. I was like, so COVID did weird things to people, and that's what we did. So we decided.
How old are they?
Oh, they range from 30. 30. Yeah, they range from 30 to 7.
Okay.
Wow. Yep.
Half of those you can still claim. You would like claim.
Tax season, the most wonderful time of the year.
Let's go.
Opinion, right?
Same here. No, go ahead, keep going. That's awesome though.
So yeah, got my bachelor's degree in business and my master's degree in community economic development while I was a single parent.
Wow.
Yeah, it seems that every time I would go to school, I'd end up getting pregnant, which is weird. It's a weird phenomenon. So let's just say we're not going for the PhD.
Yes.
It was so strange. And I was like, wait a minute. Every time
Come on.
So anyway, figured that part out. I don't know if that's just a trigger or what, but
I love it.
I'm born and raised in Fresno, California. Grew up in Southwest Fresno with a single mom. My mom had 4 girls. So, just have a legacy of strong women in my life, strong African-American women.
Say it.
My grandfather was my role model growing up. That was my papa. And
nice.
So he raised all of us. He would come and pick us up, him, my grandmother pick us up, take us to church. And that's where we would be.
Yeah.
If you know anything about African-American churches back in the day,
I grew up
and
in that.
even sometimes now, you were there all day. Mm-hmm. Like you ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner there as a kid. So we learned to sit still during service. There was no children's church. And, dare not move.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, you get the...
That was back when they take you out back, like... Why are we going out here? This is traumatic. No.
the homie going back. Oh, she did something. You're walking them in the back. You're like...
They tell you go get your own switch. Yeah. Why would I do that? Why
I used to come back with a log. My dad would be like, "You stupid kid," He'd make him laugh.
Hey,
so.
don't come back with nothing little though, because they come back and bring the whole tree.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it.
Yeah, they'll make it happen. They'll make it happen.
So yeah, been here all my life. Love Fresno. Doing a lot of community work. I have my small business, Trifecta Development and Consultation Company.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a local artist. I paint. Usually using the medium of acrylics. I have my first art show coming up soon.
Or you just had it.
I just
We just had it. We're technically in the future. How'd that go?
Right?
Went great. You made a lot of money.
It was wonderful. It was at City Hall where I used to work. So yeah, it's just being in Fresno. I love the community. I know a lot of people try to jump out of Fresno, but I actually really feel called here. So that's just a little bit about me. Oh, and one of the most important things, I really, really like food. So.
What's your favorite food?
I don't even know. I'm
food
torn between Creole food and Mexican food. It's just a tough toss up.
Well, your husband Mexican too, right?
That's true, but he don't cook.
He don't cook?
No, he is bilingual.
Oh yeah?
But he don't cook.
You don't cook? Do you
was
cook?
like,
You
what?
cook Mexican food?
I have to.
You have to.
I'm forced to. And then he critiques. He like, this black Mexican food. You know? This is not.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever, eat it. You know, here's your tortilla. Like,
Jeez, here's that tortilla. Oh my God. Yes, this is a great idea to have you on. I love it. That's awesome, because I love, man, y'all, because the kids that's insane. The blended family. Let's start with how's that work? How does I don't know, because are there expectations? Are there fears? Are there like worries? Are there like, or do they call me mom, or I call, it's like, how, or do they, I don't know. How's that work for you?
So everybody, like his kids call me Alondra. My kids call him Manuel. And, my little one, she was like, curious about, she's 7. So she was like, oh, can I call you dad? Oh. And so that was cool, and she called him a couple of times, and then it was just kind of like, she's, I guess, working her way around it. I don't know what's going on with that, but, the blending, ooh, that was tough. It was during COVID, the shutdown, like when the world stopped.
Yeah.
And me and my husband thought it'd be a great idea to add blending a family to that chaos. So
yeah, lockdown.
And then we were on lockdown with all of us. Well, there's only 3 of his kids in the house because the rest of them are adults. But
yeah,
man, and then only 5 of mine are in the house.
Okay.
But that was intense.
There's 10 of you guys.
That was so, and it goes back to like, when you feel that pressure and you become like that, the diamond, I guess, under the pressure. I started painting.
Yeah.
As a
nice.
result, and found out I was really good at it. So I've just been painting since August of 2021.
Yeah.
And like really taking it, well, not necessarily seriously. I was just, trying to decompress, and something really pretty came out of it. I was like, wow, I really drew that. That's
nice.
Crazy.
Now, have you sold any prints or anything yet?
I have. I sold my first piece in February. Ooh, yes. Nice. And I was extremely excited about that. It was the legacy piece. It was a piece of a woman crowning her daughter.
Oh, that speaks.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow. And so now let's get into, because I know you had mentioned, you said you're a single mom, going to school, bachelor's and master's. It's funny. We were at Jonathan's birthday party, a few weeks ago, because we're in the future, supposedly. It gets confusing after a while.
I see.
But his sister was there, and actually one of Laura's high school friends were there. That's actually cousins with Jonathan. Laura didn't know that. And so they started talking about the podcast, and they're like, you guys should have a all single moms podcast, experience. I'm like, that's a cool idea. I thought, why not? Get a bunch of single moms. I'll be the odd guy out. Taking it all on the chin. Let's take it out on Jose. But I don't know. What was that experience like? Maybe let's get into that part of your life, the single mom, like you said, and school. And because the thing is that a lot of women, I know a lot of women too that's done that. There's like a different strength and a level to a woman that to be able to handle all that and still go to school and still get all the schooling done, get the grades, get pass, still feed the family, still take care of the home, still be this, still be that, but still try, like even if you have time to make time for you, like, what is that about? Like, not about, but how is that? I mean, I don't know. I'm like a loss for words because I don't understand, that part of that. And maybe you can share your experience.
To be honest, like, I mean, we've been through so much as a family. I was a teenage mom. I got pregnant at 17, had my baby, my first one on my 18th birthday. Mm-hmm. So she stole my birthday. It was really, that was the trauma.
Maybe God was
that was the trauma.
It's no longer about me.
What do you mean? So, she ruined my hair appointment. It was nuts. She still owes me. But,
come on.
But, started off young, and she was at my oldest baby was at my high school graduation, so managed to graduate high school, tinkered around with trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. I knew I needed to do something, but my focus was not on even so much being a mom or like a businesswoman or any of that. My focus was her dad. So that made it really, really difficult for me to like, move forward because my emotions, my heart, my soul was all entangled in this guy. And we had 2 more children after her. So together we had 3. I ended up marrying him. It obviously did not go well. And just coming from like a background where I really just did not have like the self-esteem was not there. I felt like I was an outcast, I felt like kind of like, the black sheep of my family, no pun intended. But it was just a lot. It was stressful. There were times when I abused alcohol. There were times when, they had my older 3 children had a completely different parent than my younger kids had. My older 3 had the high school, graduate, but, the welfare recipient, the food stamps, the emotional instability, we had a lot of instability when it came to like where we were going to live, and I was like, I just really didn't have a real good grasp on being an adult, being, grounded. Because I was a kid and I just had a kid, Yeah,
so, that's true.
And then from there, I was kind of out, me and my mom, we knocked heads. And so I was, and I knew better, so I would always be, doing what I knew was right.
Yeah.
It never worked out. I'm just telling you that. If you guys are young and you think you know more than your parents, stop.
Speak on it.
Stop it.
Speak on it.
Stop it. Because when you get to be my age, you'll be like, ooh, that was stupid. Thank you, Jesus. I'm glad that you did not kill me during those times.
I'm glad you did not smite me.
Yeah. I'm glad we weren't back in the, Jesus days.
Yeah, or the Old Testament. We got Moses.
The center of the main attraction at a rock concert.
Yeah. So real.
Right. So, I was out there just had a lot of things that I went through, even tried to be a little gangbanger and, drug dealer and hung out with like, I mean, a lot of my friends were murderers. Like it was crazy. It was nuts.
What gang, if you don't mind?
We were in the U.
The U?
I used to hang out in the U with my friends. Yeah. Okay. And I was like, I called myself a little Crip. It was just insane.
I grew up that way
crazy.
too.
Because
I thought I was a diamond. I grew up 6 Deuce. I grew up with that too. I grew up like Fresno High area, but all my homies are on the west side of Fresno. That's where I grew up. That's where I would go hang out. My dad don't care. I'm out like west side of Fresno. I guess I'm a 6 Deuce. My brother was a bulldog. We shared a room.
How was that?
It was weird. We didn't know. Did we fight each other? Only out in the streets we fight, but at home when we're chilling.
Don't put your rag on my rag.
Yeah, right? Keep your rag away. Don't disrespect my rag. It was weird. It was so funny.
That's crazy.
But I grew up that way too.
Yeah, and the things that the places that I put myself that really could have cost me my life, like the ultimate price. It was just God's hand on my life that just ushered me away from there. But I call myself, I'm gonna be. I'm out here providing for my baby. I'm doing what I gotta do. Cause I'm just ignorant. But
same.
I was the what you say?
Say it with it. Say it with it. But I'm serious.
So it took a lot. It was a long road of maturity, and then just being broken emotionally for so long and not really seeing the self-worth or what I was worth. Eventually, we ended up homeless for 4 years, me and 6 of my children. And then, when that ended, I was like, I really got to get some stuff done. But during the that stint of homelessness, I was able to get my bachelor's degree. Wow. And so I was pregnant with 5 children, still going to school. And like after I had my baby, I would go to the parking lot every 2 hours, nurse him because my kids would be out there watching him, and I'd go back in. People didn't know that we were like homeless. And when I think back on that time, I'm like, dude, that really happened. Like that was really what you did. It's not like a Hollywood story or Hallmark show. It really could. If you do, you better give me my credit. Don't do that.
Oh no, hit her up. Let her.
Times are hard. No.
We in a recession. No,
right? But help a sister out.
Man, that's crazy.
It was. We were sleeping in other people's houses. Only a couple of times that we have to sleep in the car, but God brought us through all of that to the point where we were at a hotel. We were one step from being like for real, like the version of homeless that we see all the time.
Yeah.
Because I was running out of money. I didn't know where it was going to come from. Somehow, I don't even know where this check came from, and I don't know how I got the check because I didn't have an address. So I remember getting this check, and I talked to this guy. He said, yes, I'll rent to you. I filled out, my application was on a little lined piece of paper, and he let us rent. It was in the hood, but we had a house, but it was the last night that I was going to be able to afford the hotel. Oh. And so God just made it to where we were able to just move in. And it was behind Walmart back on Pontiac.
Okay, yeah,
there,
yeah.
Where it gets real.
Sketch.
Right, really sketch.
Yeah.
So, and then my car broke down. It was a lot. But going through all of that, and with my children going through all of that today, my youngest two don't really remember a lot of it. The older ones kind of do, but obviously the grown ones remember every single thing.
Yeah.
And then my oldest daughter, eventually, she was on this downward spiral. She was using meth, and she ended up in and out of jail and in and out of prison. Actually, she went to prison the one time, and that was actually a godsend. It changed her life. So today, for the first time ever, my daughter is fully employed and enrolled in school. She wants to be a drug and alcohol counselor. And then my other children, we're tighter now than we've ever been before. And my oldest son just told me, he said, yeah, we went through all of that stuff together. We're not going to, we were all we had. So it wasn't like a whole bunch of extended family. It was literally just us. And to get through all of that, and then to be where we are, where I finally own my home, I have a decent job, my kids live in a decent place. And all of that, the material things are great, but the inwardness, the inward healing and peace that I gathered through, you don't think that something like that would give you that, but it really did turn out to be that. So for my single parent, hopefully you guys don't have as hard a story, but my single parent journey was that, and then eventually getting married, and now we almost doubled our household size. So
I mean, that's an awesome story to hear, because to hear you now and see what you do now, because we've been talking a lot, especially in regards to me and my wife's foundation. Never would have known that. You carry yourself so high, your humility is still there. And again, every time we've had a Zoom meeting, I've left encouraged, I've left inspired, I left like, we could actually still do this. Everything else is saying no, or it's like no one wants to be involved, but still it's like when we talk to you and to hear that side of the story, one thing I love to say a lot is that people don't know the story behind the glory. They don't. All they see is a successful woman, they see the successful business or whatever, but they don't know what it took to get there. And a lot of it was self-inflicted. A lot of it was happened to us too. So it's like, but to say, and again, plug in too, but shameful plug is like, but we're still here.
That part.
Still here, son. And to me, that's what resonates a lot. So when it came into, because you said you were taking classes, you would have to go out, parking lot nurse and all that. Let's get to that, because I know there are a lot of women, a lot of young ladies and a lot of black ladies and Mexicans and a lot of minorities, individuals that are going through that still right now. With no support, with no emotional help, with nothing, and to hear your story, what made you feel like I just got to keep going? I got to keep going. Because my mom was like that too. My dad was always working, but my mom was a different story, and so my mom worked for us. She did a lot of stuff, but then she snapped. She went into the drug addiction, the prostitution, and all that. So it snapped her. And so me and my siblings were left alone while my dad was working, and so to hear your story that you just kept pushing like that moment, like when I can see in your face when you were saying it, you remembered that feeling, that exact minute, like it just happened yesterday. What kept pushing you though? What made you feel like this sucks right now? I know I'm homeless, but gotta keep, what made you keep going?
It was ultimately Jesus, but he used my kids a lot. I was literally all they had. And that's a tremendous pressure too. And it wasn't like, I'm all you have. So I'm going to make this happen.
Yeah.
You know, it was not that. It was like, yeah, right.
Like the Full House story. You know?
Right. I found my inner strength.
Yeah.
You know, it was not that. It was many a nights where I would, you know, cry when they weren't paying attention. My oldest son actually brought up one time, he caught me crying. And I was trying not to, I didn't want anybody to see me, you know, because I didn't want to freak them out, you know. And then it was really depressing. And I was fighting and battling depression because I'm like, God, I'm all these kids got? Me? Like, that sucks. You know, like, what?
That's real.
Why would you do that to them? You know?
Why would you do that to them?
Like, what is
if
wrong
I'm all
with
they
you?
got?
Like,
Yeah, that's so real.
But it got to be like, it was difficult. And then, you know, there were times when I self-medicated, but I self-medicated not with alcohol, not with, you know, a drug. I self-medicated with, like overachieving. Like, I knew I couldn't drop out of college, even though there was these weird people we were, I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, they were different.
Yeah. Unique.
Unique.
Yeah.
They were unique. And they had they had what they wanted to happen in the household, and they wanted to kind of like keep us, I don't know about that. So anyway.
No, you don't have to get into that.
It was weird. It was weird. It was like,
different. Yeah, it
was really different. And they were like, just drop out of school, you know? And well, you know, you ain't gonna finish anyway, you know, like stuff like that. But I knew if I stopped, then because it was the one thing I could control. Mm-hmm. The one. I mean, I got the student loans, but they paid for it. So it was already paid for. So I was like, I'm going to at least have this consistency in my life.
Yeah.
So I focused on overachieving to a point where it was not healthy, probably. And then toxic relationships. Like, there was a lot of those, you know. Some guy tells me I'm pretty. I am. You know, it was like, oh my gosh, he said I was cute.
He knows me, right? Understands me.
So it was a lot of what I call addiction swapping. Mm-hmm. So, and it was just to cope with all of the pressures of being relied upon so heavily. So, but I knew I couldn't quit. I knew I couldn't kill myself because what would happen to my kids? Who would take them? They would be split apart, you know? And I just had to like sit in all of that uncomfortable space by myself. And God would always send somebody across my path to like speak life into me. You know, it would be people who weren't even believers. It would be just the strangest things, you know? These people let us use their house. They didn't know us. They let us use their house in Hanford. And I'm like, it was kind of falling apart, but they let us use their house. Yeah. That's still a house, right? Yeah. So we were out there for a while, and just the way, and around that time I don't even remember how I started getting on this prayer call in the morning at 5 a.m. And so I would get on the prayer call and we pray and everything. And still I was struggling with all kinds of just weird, you know, reactions to the stress. But at the end of it, I remember when we were in Hanford one time and I was up before the sun, and I remember being really sad because I felt like there were people that should have helped me that didn't. And then all of a sudden something shifted. It was like a snap. And I said, you know what? These are my kids. Nobody made me to have these kids. I had these children. So I am responsible for them. And I'm responsible for where I am today. And so God, you have to help me because this is all I am. So I need you to help me be something more than this. And it was during that time, I remember that night or morning. And it was when I took ownership of my situation that I think God I remember that was a major pivot in my life.
Wow. I was about to ask, when do you think you saw the turning point, and that was it?
That was it.
Dang, because I know, again, because I think I can relate only through my mom's experience, you know, because we were fully aware of what was going on. Even at we were, me, my brother, maybe my Juanita, but because there's 4 of us, my older brother, me, my younger sisters, but we were fully aware at the age 6, 7 years old. We were forced to grow up 7, 8 years old, I was thinking like an adult because I was like, am I going to die today? Am I going to, you know, I don't trust nobody, you know, I don't trust my mom. My dad's gone, so I can't follow my dad. It's like, I don't remember the turning point. I think is when I married my wife, you know, even recent, you know, like I would say, 17 years ago. And because we were married this May will be 17 years. And
May anniversaries.
When's yours?
21st, sorry.
We're the 14th.
Oh,
May 14th.
Right before us.
Yeah.
Like a week apart.
Yeah, man. So it's again, but I think that was the turning point for me because even before when I was in church, I'm an adult, you know, she got married really young. I was an idiot, didn't have a job. I just got fired from a job, and I guess my turning point was her. But when I hear your story, you know, again, I see you. Like, again, I didn't know that, of course, because this is our first time meeting in person, you know, and I love that about you because you're so happy, you're so encouraging, you know, because I believe you're speaking from the moment when you didn't have courage, you didn't have courage or the faith to rise up, but now you like, that's what took me to gain where I'm at to speak. You're speaking life right now. Like even on the Zoom calls, I don't know, I feel like I'm getting lost because I get so excited about this stuff because, you know, I didn't know you. We got introduced to you through Jonathan, you know, and Jonathan had nothing but great things to say about you. He's, I love Alondra. Alondra's so amazing. She's so blessed. We all would do is laugh.
I pay him well.
Yeah. You know, what about you, Laura? I know you're listening on this so far, you know, as a mother and as, you know, just, you know, kids, you know, I mean, because we've been through similar experiences of homelessness and staying in a hotel for a couple of weeks, even when we were young marriage, you know, babies, you know, what do you think so far?
No, I just, I think it's just a different strength. You know, you can't give up, you know, and it's because you look at the little ones, you're like, I am all they have. We are all they have, you know, so we just tried our best. You know, we had to live with people, we had to live in a hotel, but I mean, it wasn't the best circumstance, but I mean, we made it through. We learned a lot. And I think we can relate to people that other people can't relate to. And I think it was so tough going through it. Yeah. But, man, we grew. We grew a lot. Yeah. And, you know, even the kids were like, maybe just 6 years ago, like, you guys finally have a bed. Yeah. You know, and it's like, before you were sleeping on the floor. We were sleeping on the floor. It's like, you have a bed. Yeah. And then you got a room. And then you got your own room. I was like,
it's weird.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this.
But people don't think about stuff like that. We don't, I mean, like I get up and I say, Jesus, thank you for the ability to get myself dressed. Thank you for this bed that I'm sleeping in that has covers on it. Thank you for, you know, the fact that I have a car to drive up into this driveway that now I own. Like that, I just became a homeowner in 2020 during the pandemic. I did a lot during the pandemic. The world shut down, and I did a lot.
You came up.
I mean,
world shut down, and I came up.
You know, hey, that's all I needed. I told God I needed a break, and guess what? You know, He shut the world down.
You got it.
I was like,
you know.
see, we like that.
See, God knows me.
But it's like I'm like when I'm walking and say that like my feet hurt, man. Thank you, Jesus, that I got feet. You know, thank you that I got socks. You know, gratitude. Underwear. And I over the course of time and really just asking God to help me grow, and I mean the way that I see things, I don't see it like when I see somebody. I've been the one that was looked down upon. You know. And I've been the one that was like, oh, that's Alondra. You know, it's like, you know, oh, girl, did you hear it? You know, I've been that person. So, and I know how it made me feel. Yeah. And so I don't endeavor to make anyone else feel that way. Yeah. That's ridiculous to me. And when it comes to that gratitude, I want my kids to know that. You know, I want them to have that like every day. When you, I don't care what's going on wrong in your life, it may be a sucky situation, but you better find that silver lining and just praise God about that until something breaks. You know, because a lot of times when you lose your perception, what would have happened if we would have decided the kids would have been better off without us? What would have happened if we would have been like, they'd be all right? You know, what if we would have just been so focused on self that we couldn't see anything else? You know, there are a lot of people who get to that point.
What would you say right now, someone listening and watching that is either going through that and or knows somebody and they can send them this what would you say to somebody that's at that point?
I mean, first and foremost, don't give up. You have no idea the value that is placed on your life or the value of your life. You have no idea the people that'll be changed, and you probably can't see any of this or like, oh, she's just talking because, she's on this podcast. No, I'm like dead serious. If your life is connected to multiple thousands of people, you could be the one person to influence the one person that influences the other person that has the cure for cancer. Or you could be the one that influences this one little kid or loves this one little kid, says one encouraging word to one little kid that grows up to be the next congressperson or the next, massive leader, religious leader that's actually has a real heart for God. And you're a life changer. We're all life changers. And you cannot, if we're life changers, then there's no way that your life could mean nothing. Because if we're life changers, that means that we have the power to change our own life.
Let's go.
And so your life, there's not a price tag on it. And I don't care if somebody has told you that you're not worth anything, or don't buy into those lies. I'm speaking life right now, and I want to rebuke, every foul, curse that has been spoken over your life right now and cast it to the ground, because life has to spring up in this moment for you listening to this word right now. And if you don't hear anything that I say, we are all creative beings. We have the ability to create and recreate. We can create perpetually, meaning over and over and over again, we can create. So create for you the life that you want to have. X everybody else out. And what I found before, when I felt like I was dying a little bit on the inside during COVID, when I was alone, and I'm a vocalist and I'm a writer and all this other stuff, but I wasn't creating. When you stop creating, you begin dying. So start creating so that you can continue to do what God has called you to do. And if you can't see anything, if you can't, I don't know what to create. I don't know you can create happiness. If you're not into pottery or the visual arts, so that's fine. You can make somebody laugh. You can create laughter. You can create, you can smile at somebody. You can create a smile and give somebody else that bump that they need for life. But don't give up, because if you give up, then, dude, that's everything. Yeah. That means that everything that you've been through from whatever point to this point was for nothing. So you can't give up, because you're too much of a G for that. Yeah, so don't do that.
Come on. Y'all just don't know what you just heard, because again, we want always promote on this show that you're still here. You can still go through, you can still make it no matter what, whether you're going through it or not, or somebody. These are the type of guests, this type of message and word we always want to push out. Because we get so inundated with the same thing. Again, I keep saying this all the time, man, and I don't think I'm ever going to stop, but it's just the same regurgitation of motivation until you actually hear it and you feel it and see it from somebody that's actually come through the thick of it and still be here. It's like, that's real. That's what I needed to hear, because, Karen and Darren over there saying the same thing they all, Billy and Tommy say, but it's like, nope. Not Jose, not Alondra, not Jonathan, not Laura, not Johnny Fisher. No, these people are real, and that's what people look for. I think that's what this world is looking for. That's a real word right there, man. You rebuked some things. You went straight Bible, rebuke it, cast it out.
I try to be PC for the most part, but when it comes down to life and death, it's in the power of our tongue. So I'm going to use it to do battle when I need to.
Yeah, so, what you speak. Too is careful. You got to be careful. And
right.
I've learned the hard way.
Oh yes.
Wifey can testify. This fool need to shut up. But yeah, and she never. But the thing, that's what's so awesome about her. She's never thrown it in my face. She never did that. I told you, get your dumb ass, get up. I done. She didn't. She just picked me up. That was God. Using it was God using her just for me to experience how God never does that to us.
Right.
Never judges us. Never throws it back in our face. And I learned that. That's why I believe the turning point in my life was when she never did that. Prior relationships, my exes would throw it in my face. We'd fight, we'd argue, and
keeping
that's what
checking it twice.
Yeah, and it's and they write it down, take a picture, all that
on this day.
Yeah, and so, but she never did, and I feel like that's what we get here. Excuse me. Now let's get into. Man, I think we can just go off on that. I mean, this will be like part 32s and stuff. I think we have a lot to talk about because I love your story so far. It's like it's amazing. Now let's get to where we're at now. You got your bachelor's degree, you got your master's degree. You said you got the student debt. We finna help you pay it off soon.
Praise the Lord. I receive that you can make all checks payable too.
Alondra Queen Vasquez. Are you getting warm? I think I'm getting warm too. I'm gonna turn the AC on. But let's get into your what do you do now for your job business? Because you have your own personal business also that helps the community. That's what we love. That's what we want to be here at the podcast and our foundation. Let's get into your career now, your professional experiences and what you got going on.
So for the most part, the majority of my career has been spent working in government agencies like County of Fresno, Housing Authority, City of Fresno, and then doing a lot of philanthropic work. I like, to be able to help people to grow their businesses and dreams. And I started a group called the Vision Party. It's a private group that I put on Facebook, but if you're interested, just find me on Facebook or you make a request. I don't know.
Yeah. What's it called again?
The Vision Party.
The Vision Party. Yeah. I'll put that up in our lower third.
Yeah. And I'll send you the info.
Yeah. We'll join it too.
Memorized.
No, but I don't blame you. Me too. I don't have a lot of stuff I do memorize either, so you're good.
But one of the main reasons that I started it is because there's so many people out there that have dreams and goals and visions. And a group of my friends, like we would be talking and we'd be talking about the book that is in us to write, or the, a song we want to write, or, all these different things. I want to start a business. I want to start a nonprofit, all these things that they wanted to do. But then 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, we are still talking about that same stuff and it's not manifested. I'm like, what are we doing? And so basically what the Vision Party is about is like leadership development. It's about resource, connecting you to resources, helping you resource up so that you can achieve the goals that, God has placed in your heart. Or if you're not a religious person, the goals that you just want to, achieve before whatever your bucket list is, right? If it's, I want to start my own greeting card company, then we're going to find out how to make that happen. Right. Yeah. And then also, the Vision Party really is about, because we have all these people that have all these talents, all these dreams, all these goals, all these visions. Right. And I can go and get my business license. I can start an LLC, but then why isn't it growing? Well, because there's a key component in building your own business or doing anything for that matter, that's going to, help you reach a goal or whatever. And the key component is you. So I can go and get my business license, but if I'm not working my business, guess what? And it takes a lot to get up. I mean, there's a level of grit that you have to have as an entrepreneur, as a visionary, as somebody who just wants to step out and do something that's in their heart to do. And so I speak to that portion. That's like my niche right there, is where I don't care what your goals are. I don't care what your plans are, the strategies that you've laid out for yourself. If you're not a whole person on the inside or believe that you can make it to that next level, you just be a person running around here starting businesses and nothing come of it, So the Vision Party really is about that encouragement, is about that motivation. It's about accountability. It's about, helping people reach the next level of success within themselves.
Yeah, I like that. One thing I'm getting out of this is, because we've heard this saying, hurt people know how to hurt people, love people know how to love people. But I think a person that's built themselves up know how to build people.
Just call me the architect.
Come on. I'm about to pass out the offering basket because I was preaching right now. My Cash App will be on the bottom right here. Cash App your boy. But that is awesome. I love that. The Vision Party.
Vision Party, yeah.
Now, anybody can join?
Anybody can join that's interested in, and it's all about positivity. Don't, put your health and wellness products and all that stuff in there. And it's about building people up. Yeah. It's somewhere where you can go to get warm, so you can go, or get hot, so you can go out and warm the world.
That's
put your light out there. So that's what the Vision Party is. And then it's a subset of my LLC, which is Trifecta Development and Consultation Company. And that's my own LLC. And what you and I do, what I do for you guys, to help you build your business, to help you grow, and flourish and find out like how we can connect you to resources and different things like that on a business standpoint. And then I also do like a pre-development consultation. So if you're looking for a piece of land and you want to procure that land, then I have me and a couple of my colleagues. I've got realtors, I've got brokers, people that I talk to that can either help you build something from the ground up, procure a piece of real estate that already has a structure on it, or also, what was the other thing? Tell me, what was it? Leasing. If you want to lease a space.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can help, help you do that type of thing so that you can either grow or scale your business.
Wow. That's awesome, man. Cause I know, again, what we're getting from like our partnership right now, that's what we're learning, the business part. You're giving us a lot of great pointers, a lot of your time. That's, man, like it's valuable. Your time is valuable, and you do that for everybody. You can do that for people that hit you up and all that. Yeah. Are you charging for all this stuff, or is it just kind of like consultation first and then
consultation
next level?
First, and then we find out like what it is that you need, and then we move on from there. And then whatever. I mean, we can help anybody throughout the state of California because that's where my realtors are. They have their license in the state of California. However, I also help people navigate the governmental process to get their entitlements and building permits. And that language kind of translates over as long as, anyway.
Yeah.
So if you're out of the state of California, then I could help you navigate your project, but as far as like procuring a piece of property, I can also be kind of like the liaison between you and your or project manager, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, again, that's why we're partnering with you, because I know with our foundation, more info, like information is all that's coming soon, but we're in the building part of it. But again, I get so much, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I really do, especially with this vision and this dream that we've had for this foundation, and talking to you and seeing what you're doing and know how you know what you're doing, and I love that about you. I love your experience. I love your knowledge in that, because again, you're helping people that want to that have a vision, that like, let's build it, because again, I see all that. That's great. But I see the person that went through all that to be this, it's like, we wonder, God, did you make us or let us go through that to be this? Can I just be this already? What do I?
You're letting a better path.
Yeah.
Like, easier path.
Yeah, come on, it's like
he
everyone
probably is saying, yeah, it was, but you wouldn't listen.
I love you, but you're going to learn. You're going to learn today.
So just like the Israelites, I had to take you all around the way to get you to, man, yes.
Yeah, and that. Yeah, that's some love right there, man. To be waiting 40 years of nonsense. All right, now, you guys are ready. Let's go.
Oh, you done? Oh, are you done? Okay, come on.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it's so real. I love that, And so, again, how can people like get a hold of you? How can anybody? Do you have like Facebook, Instagram pages for your business, for your your business LLC and all that? Or
I've usually been going by word of mouth. I probably should have those things.
So social media, TBD.
However, I do have, you can reach me at Alondra, that's ALONDRA at trifectadcc.com.
Okay.
Or you can call me at 559-681-9491.
Okay. Nice.
Let me make sure that's the right number.
Well, in doing that, I like that, because we'll have all your information in the description below, because I want to make sure you get out there, because I know a lot of individuals that have businesses that want to take it to the next level, that are looking for, is it the right number?
That was the right
number. Okay, yeah.
I am right.
That was a win, gotcha.
That's right. Yeah, if I had known.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people that, need to start. Mm-hmm. They want to start, but they don't know where to start,
Right.
Y'all listening and watching, man, hit this queen up, because, the encouragement you'll get to know that your business will be successful, your foundation or whatever you have, just build something, it'll be successful because of her experience, and her knowledge and her training. You went through school for all this, so it's not like you just, I'm going to do this.
You know what? that's going to happen. Let's start doing open heart surgery.
Ooh.
We don't need school.
No, I mean, yeah, chop your heart out, give you a cow heart.
Imagine the money you'll save.
Imagine right now, hit us up. Me and Alondra starting a new business.
It's called the heart repair.
Ooh, repair your heart in the
that
name of Jesus. Hallelujah. Your heart. Trying to channel my inner TD Jake's voice.
Get ready.
Hallelujah. Glory. The Lord.
A little more rumble. Give me more rumble.
That's all I got. Yeah, I'm not blessed with that glory. Hallelujah.
In the beginning.
Yeah, man, that boy got a voice, man. That boy shake.
You always know when TD is talking.
Yeah, he shake your soul.
That part.
Yeah.
It's like, huh?
And I'm like, speak on it, Batman. Right? Got that deep voice. But all right, let's be back to Jesus.
Now I want to do a Batman impersonation. Go ahead. Let's move on.
Yeah, BTS scenes coming soon, man. Now let's get into. I just want to get to know you more. By the time this thing airs and goes live, we were talking about something before we started rolling. We were talking about Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Okay.
And I brought up a certain topic. It's not so much about it, but I just feel like, because I told you I watched Charlemagne the God, I watched Brilliant Idiots, I watched Breakfast Club, I love all those podcasts, those shows, but they had a guest on talking about, I want to hear your perspective on it, because she was really heavy on like the black community, black on black. Why is it, how come my black men not supporting the black women? Is it really about all that? Is it like, are they making it too big than what it was? Because Will Smith, being a black man, slapped another black man. It's like, is it really about all that? Is it really like, do you think, is it that deep from your like personal opinion and perspective?
Mm-hmm. Not to me. I mean, to me, it's like we have everybody in every race and culture can say that there's, people in the same race and culture that pull the same race and culture down.
Yeah.
It's hard to get people to support each other and different things like that. Now we can go back to, I can't completely ignore the fact that, African-American people have preyed on each other before.
Yeah.
But we were also taught to do that back on the plantation. So there was the good Negroes and the bad Negroes, and then there were also the light-skinned Negroes, and which were usually people who had been born to their masters or whatever. And then there are, the more dark, and you'll hear people say slave Negroes. I'm going to use Negro and not the other word.
Yeah.
But we've been taught to not just hate each other because they wanted us divided so that we wouldn't band together and leave, right? Or band together and rebel, right? So, but then we also, they kept us divided and separated us as a means of mental control. And they would put images back at us of ourselves, but like exaggerated to make us hate ourselves.
Wow.
So I don't think that the slap is what we'll call
Heard around the world.
I don't believe that the slap had anything to do with Will Smith hating, Chris Rock because he was, doing his thing. I think he was offended because of the joke and just decided this is how I'm going to handle that offense.
Yeah.
I'm going to get up. I'm going to slap the crap out of him on live television, which I don't know about that being the wisest thing to do. And I'm not necessarily saying like, I think it could have been handled better, but at the end of the day, I don't think that was like an image or an acting out or manifestation of, black people oppressing other black people. I don't think it was not that situation.
Yeah.
Now, does it happen? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But in that situation, I don't think that correlated with what I think that was a little bit of a reach.
Yeah. I know. I've heard, we've heard everyone's talking about it. It's like the thing to talk about, and it's like they're saying Chris Rock made fun of Jada Pinkett and her alopecia, and they're saying he didn't know. Well, Chris Rock, from what I heard, I don't want to say like it's true or not, but I'm just saying based on what I've heard, he didn't know just, hey, G.I. Jane 2, can't wait. You know, everyone's like, it wasn't an offensive joke. It was. And there's a lot of people that support Chris Rock, support Will Smith. And it's like, but this one, I got to find her name. And I'll even put that show on on their description below. But she made it about, it was like, they're suppressing the black woman voice. They're not letting her speak on, and it got real deep that way, and it's like, I don't see it that way. It's like, I see it as, it was an innocent joke, and it just seems like it always has to go back to race. It always has to. It was just a comedian not even making fun of, hey, G.I. Jane 2, can't wait.
Right. And that was the joke.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And, he's made jokes about them before. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the backstory was, if Chris Rock knew about the alopecia issue or whatever.
I heard he didn't know.
And, well, if he didn't, that would explain the joke. I think if he did, he probably would have been like, hey, yo, I'm not saying this because she's really upset about this particular topic. Right?
Yeah.
And it was like, and about suppressing her voice, it's Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah.
Good luck. I'm like, she has red table talk.
That's what I was to say.
Her voice is out there.
Yeah.
So she's been speaking up. So on whatever topic she chooses to speak on. Yeah. So
entanglement. Because we haven't had time to talk, about this. I want, the way we want to start pushing the show is like, something happened big, we're gonna shoot and talk about it, and then to finally talk about it now. And it's like, one thing I want the show to be so diverse. I want Still Here Podcast to have a woman's voice, white, black, brown, just have a voice. Provide a platform where anybody can talk about anything, be real about it. One, obviously not disrespect each other, but really find an understanding. Mm-hmm. Let's find a middle. Let's go back to the
common ground.
Commonality. Mm-hmm. And then guess what? We'll go get a Starbucks after and just go chill.
Right.
We don't live in that world no more. It's like one side wants to be right and the other side wrong, and vice versa.
And then they want to kill each other over it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there are better ways to die and better things to die for than my opinion. I'm gonna hurt you physically because you don't vote the way I vote.
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
That's sketchy. That's scary.
That is. That is. It's a different world, like you said. And there are so many, okay, let's go back in a blast of the past to the Popeyes chicken sandwich craze.
Yeah.
It was literally a craze. These people were losing their mind over a $4 chicken sandwich.
For real. Speak on it.
I'm like, I saw a meme and it said, Jesus, can you please do for me what you did for Popeyes?
Yeah, I saw that one too.
I don't want nobody killing nobody, but
can I
get that type of trend? It was a chicken sandwich and a dude lost his life. He was stabbed to death. Somebody else, they were running into people's cars and this was before COVID.
Yeah.
So humanity's been crazy for a minute. So I just don't understand why the extremes? Where are the balances?
Yeah.
Let's get back in touch with reality. And yes, race is important. Culture is important. All of it is beautiful. And if one group of people is being held down, then it's everybody's responsibility to help uplift them, right? As the human race, right? And people also want to say, well, I don't see color. And I think that's kind of, I just don't personally agree with that standpoint, because I obviously notice that you're a lighter shade of brown than me, you know, and I obviously notice that she's even lighter. It's like,
she's white.
But it's like, I'm looking at you, and to discount my ethnicity and who I am, that's part of who I am. Yeah. I can't change it. I can't wake up in the morning and wash it off. This hair, I don't care what you do to it, it's still gonna be nappy. I can get a perm, but it's gonna grow out nappy. And get this. Some people are like, oh, your hair ain't nappy. That's me. That's a negative connotation. No, nappy hair is beautiful.
Yeah.
What you mean? It's like, my hair is gorgeous. I don't know what you're talking about. You better ask somebody.
Or you better go somewhere with that. Get familiar.
Right. Yeah. And we need to learn to embrace who we are. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're Latin. I don't care if you're Native American, Asian, whatever. God made us different for a reason.
Yeah.
And all of us have a soul. And if you cut us all open, we've all heard this. We got all the same type of organs.
Yep.
We got, everybody bleeds the same color. If you don't, keep that to yourself because I'm not ready.
I don't think the world will be ready.
I'm not ready for that.
Why is it green?
It's like, wait, we can't be friends anymore. Yeah. That's a deal breaker for me.
Never mind. Go ahead. I was about to go off.
It's like we're when we get to heaven, we're not all gonna be doing it like we're all gonna be different. Mm-hmm. We were meant to be different. Mm-hmm. God is not just one dimensional.
Yeah,
He's multidimensional. He loves all of us and says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made.
Come on.
We are beautiful in the Lord's sight. We, us, his beloved children.
Preach on it.
And he wasn't just saying, all y'all black people, I love y'all.
Yeah.
The rest of y'all though, you know, it's like,
you'll come after.
Right. It's like, but we're all loved.
Yeah.
And we all get to choose. We can all choose to whether we're going to love people or not. And my thing is, if you're a jerk, don't expect me to love you. Come on. I mean, I will from afar and in Jesus' name. Yeah. But I am not built for jerk-like energy. I'm not.
That is so real. I'm taught in the name of Jesus to
I
love
have
you.
to love you.
But
however,
Jose flesh, don't get it twisted. Alondra flesh, sin. Us, the sinny sin is like, don't get it twisted. I'll handle you.
It's like, don't let these nails fool you, bro. It's like, or the degree, or the fancy.
Just take it off.
Technical language.
Yeah.
Like, I still have to pray, y'all. Yeah. Like, don't.
West Side Fresno still
like,
there. Come on.
I be like, I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan.
Same here.
Hey, so I be like, don't tempt me, Frodo.
Yes.
And then sometimes I have to talk to myself when my flesh start being like, ooh, we about to ride out. I'm like, you shall not pass.
I will beat you. That is so funny. Well, here's the thing, and these are my conversations. I have a lot of personal buddies of mine, and they don't want to jump on the show. And it's not like, ooh, I got a black woman on the show, let's talk about race. It's like, no, I want to have a conversation. I want to talk about your beautiful experiences and your opinion, because I really want your opinion out. I really believe you have something to say, because I heard it in all these Zoom meetings we've had. It's like, man, this girl needs to be out there. This girl needs to speak on it, because you are. And it's like, even so far, 56 minutes into the pod, it's like you've been speaking nothing but life. And to speak from an experience, and to speak from, being a black woman, being someone, a business owner, a hard worker, successful. It's like, man, we need those voices out there. We have so many wrong voices out there. So many wrong voices. I'm not saying that they don't have a right, because I never want to take people's right to speak, whether I agree with them or not. But we need the right voices out there, because that's what's killing our society.
To that point, like, let them speak, and then let people who are, well, I guess I'm not going to say more agreeable to us, but like, let other people speak. Let everybody speak. And then you get to choose what you are going to adhere to. Yeah. And that's going to, whoever's speaking, whatever you're drawn toward, that's because that's where your moral compass is taking you. That's where. So if your moral compass takes you over to somebody who's racism, I mean, by all means, go on over there, but don't come over here. Yeah. And vice versa. If you're one of those people whose moral compass is pointed more toward love and positivity, then you're going to be drawn to that kind of thing. So I think that some of the following that some people who thrive off of that negativity, I think that you just got to check your heart. Like, where are you at? Because when is it ever okay to subjugate somebody else for your own personal gain? Why would you think of yourself that highly? Why would you measure me against something as menial as yourself? So,
man, y'all don't even know. We're going to take offering part 2. Alondra, man, that is so true. I heard this one quote, or this one guy had said a while back, especially like remember the Westboro Baptist Church and all them crazy people. It's like,
that was scary.
As much as I cannot stand and I disagree with what they say, all this God hates whatever, God whatever, it's like, that's their right. And who am I to take that from them? But again, once people start setting a precedence is when it gets scary. That's why the other side of the coin, when Will Smith smacked Chris Rock, it's like, so Chris Rock doesn't have that right to make a joke, so every comedian or anybody, has to worry about what they say? Is Will taking his personal or his free speech away, even if it is against that? You know, and again, and there are so many levels to that. It's like, to me, that's what's scary, you know, and
I think it was just a failed moment.
It was.
I don't know that. I mean, I wouldn't, if I was offended by something that somebody said about someone I cared about and I saw that it visibly affected them, you know, I just holler at them later, like, dude, why would you know, or get up and walk out or something like that, you know, but on national TV, and this is just me talking, I'm not going to document violence against anybody if I'm doing it and then end up in jail. Jail wasn't cool before COVID. It's COVID now, y'all. Like, what are you doing? You know? That's true. So I'm not going to put myself on camera. Like, that was just like, they documented the whole thing. He clearly didn't think he was going to get slapped.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow, that's how we doing it these days. We got to stop being so impulsive, because it was impulsivity that caused, who is it? Cain to kill Abel.
Yeah. Bring it back full circle.
So, and then they got a whole show about people being impulsive in their emotions. It's called Snapped, y'all.
Yeah, I remember that show.
Those are not good outcomes.
Yeah.
So let's be a little bit more disciplined in that.
You know, and I think when it comes down to it, that's self-care, that's self-awareness, that's you. You know, again, we live in a world, and I've said this before, it's like social media has ruined people because they think it's all our business now. You know, what you post and what people see in news, it's like, it's none of your business. You know, mind your business. And then when you mind your business, life's good. You know, I believe social media was created to be fun, you know, what you're eating, Slurpees, whatever. You know, that's my personal belief. Is it everybody else's? Probably not. Is it some? Maybe. You know, but social media has it to where they put people on blast.
Well, it's become a form of news now.
Yep.
And my thing is, I mean, we're just being more exposed. You know, and
it's really
and I get it. You know, I think some people use it to do, you know, people who are spreading lies and hatred and stuff like that. I mean, it shouldn't be used as that type of medium, but people do it. Yeah. But I'm like, at the end of the day, you get to choose. And whatever is streaming, they have these algorithms as to things that you might like. If you're seeing a bunch of crazy stuff on there, quit watching it, y'all.
Ooh, come on.
Don't like it. Because they're thought, oh, they like it, I'm going to send them more. Yeah. So you can't complain.
That's real. I'm guilty of that.
What you're saying.
Well, I know, because I told my wife, it's funny because we've been having these conversations about, and I do believe, like right now, I guarantee we turn it on, we're gonna see certain topics, because I know they be listening.
Right. One time I mentioned, I want to say it was some food place, because it's always some food place with me. And then I was like, oh, let me go on my phone, and I was looking through something, and all the ads came up was that food place. I said, now that's creepy.
That is.
That's concerning.
That is, because our topics have been what men struggle with, the pornography, the women, and all that. And that's all I see on my For You page on my TikTok, especially TikTok. You know, and I, like my wife knows, I can go to my TikTok and I block I have maybe 200-300 accounts blocked, and it's just women flaunting their stuff. And we're so inundated with that. And so Again, I know it's what that, but you're right. It's what people like. It's what they do. Yep. You know, again,
once you look something up, guaranteed you're about to see a whole bunch of that.
Well, social media, again, as you said, it exposed people for who they are.
That's true.
It really has, you know, the inner, you know, like people like say, people don't know what you're thinking and what you're feeling. But social media from your phone has made you, has put you out there like that. People know. Yeah. You know, it's like, oh, shoot, you can see some like, oh, they like that or they like this, you know, especially on Twitter. Yep.
It'll even ask you, oh, we noticed that you like so-and-so. We think that you might like this. And because I do a lot of animals and like kittens and crap. I don't know how many cat groups I belong to now or like dog groups. I was like, this is getting scary. Is this your future?
Have you been to the cat house on the Kings?
Oh, yeah, in the hills?
Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, like, Kings River?
Yeah.
Her grandparents live like 2 houses down.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That level of white.
I'm not about to go
that white, but no, but my wife's like, what the heck? Yeah, she has a lot of cats. I mean, if you're cat queen, we need to go.
I don't need that type of energy.
No, there's a lot of cats.
Because I'll be like, ooh, it's a kid, and I'm taking
come here, all of you. You know?
They're so fluffy.
Yeah. Well, again, and you're so right, and I love to hear your opinion on that. I mean, because you had a lot to say, you know, again, on our meetings and stuff, and I was like, this lady knows what she's talking about. We need to have her on because the world needs to know about Alondra because, oh my gosh, because from your testimony, from your experiences now, from your education, from your businesses and what you're doing and, you know, your art, your creativity and what you're diving into now, that's beautiful. I really am super excited for our partnership. I'm super excited for what you're doing. Your family sounds amazing.
Oh, you got to meet them. They're all so loud.
You know, I mean, if your energy, imagine their energy, all you guys together, that's going to be awesome.
Oh, we got to invite you over because it's actually entertainment. It's like I invite people over for food.
Let's
and
go.
then there's a show because there's so many kids.
Let's go.
With so many different personalities.
We're
Even
so
the animals participate.
You're all line up. You guys line up. You know, let's do something.
Okay, our evening showing starts at 6.
Tickets and admissions,
Right?
you know.
Sometimes my kids really do get together and they'll play like just a beat and then we'll all freestyle together. And they'll all we do stuff like that. And then we always eat. It's always food.
How do you manage like the family first part of it? You know, especially, you know, just because you would get so busy. Now that COVID may or may not be gone, but, you know, there's a war and all of a sudden all that other stuff. Mm-hmm. How do you guys manage like family first? Like you said, you guys have, you know, shows, you guys have fun, make a beat and you guys do something. How do you guys?
We just, I intentionally, even if we're not all together, I intentionally send like encouraging text messages to, we have a family group thread in our text. So I'm reaching out to to everybody as a whole. But then I know that it's really important. Well, for me, it was really important that people not just constantly send me into a blast and say, oh yeah, I love you. Have a good day, you know, to everybody. But that there's a personal message to each one. And so I'll like make it my business to text, hey cutie, or hey, love you, or hey cutie booty, because I say that all the time too. But you know, and so I do it. It's an intentional thing, and it wasn't something I did always. It was something that I just picked up because I'm like, they need me, and I'm one person, but at least 7 people are pulling on me, and then the community and whatever other priorities I have. And then I can't negate myself, you know?
I mean, we talked about, let's get into that.
That part. Yeah. Self-care.
Yeah. Self-care. Like you said, because I remember you said, you know, I go out to eat myself. I went, where'd you go?
I went to Texas Roadhouse. I'm going to do a plug for Texas Roadhouse. I hope you guys get the one in Fresno. Oh my God. First of all, sorry kids, I didn't take y'all, but I needed some time.
You're sorry, not sorry.
I had a ribeye with a grilled shrimp. Oh my gosh. They cooked that steak so right. And it's like flavorful. And they had those yeast rolls, it smelled like my grandma's rolls and tasted like them. Ugh. And the string beans is like, hey, black people, check this out. They string beans is on point. I'm like, ain't gonna be none of them dry string beans that you gotta sprinkle salt and pepper on. Nah, they got bacon in them joints. And onions like that.
Step it up.
Man, I went there. I was like, that was the best me date I had ever had. And I don't do those as often as I should. But that day just was like, I don't want to go back to the house. I just need to be, it's a beautiful day. I need to unplug. I need to decompress. And sure enough, treated myself to a steak dinner. And it was a wonderful experience. And the atmosphere and ambiance is good. There's Texas Roadhouse over there on Shaw. And what is that? Valentine?
Shaw and
Valentine. Go there, y'all. It's fire.
So when you say self-care, how important is that? You know, especially for the busy individual, busy mom, busy parent, just busy student, busy anybody. Self-care, how important is that?
Well, it's more important now than it's ever been.
How so?
Because we've got so many competing priorities. We're constantly plugged in. We are constantly inundated with information. We are always listening to something. Like there's never a time when it's very rare that you see somebody just sitting and just being. Yeah. You know, and yesterday I took the opportunity to do that. I wasn't listening to music. I wasn't listening to a preacher. I wasn't, because sometimes, we Christians, we be like, oh, but it's worship music. Yeah. I should be able, but sometimes God wants you to just sit there. Sometimes your brain, how about this? Let's not even make it spiritual. Sometimes your brain needs just a break. Stop it. Don't watch TV. Don't listen to music. Just sit and just be. And we don't do that. And we don't understand how much strain we're putting on our senses when we don't. So we've got, COVID that we're trying to get through. Then we've got now, the war in Ukraine. And we're watching all these graphic images, people suffering, people, going through. Then we've got, the political things that are going on here. Then we've got gas prices. Man, look, gas prices alone. I'm like, look, y'all, I want a horse and buggy. Who's selling a horse and buggy? Because hay and alfalfa have to be cheaper than gas right now.
It is true.
Right?
I guarantee you. I guarantee you.
And I've always wanted a horse, so let's go, right?
Let's go.
Like,
it's going to be a win.
Give me an hour to get there. Like,
just galloping, there go Alondra.
I think I can only afford one horse, but we gonna see how many horsepower we can get.
One horse.
No, one horsepower.
One horsepower. I love it.
But it's like we have so many things. Take those opportunities to laugh. Take those opportunities to not be around your kids all the time. Y'all parents, and even spouses. Sometimes you need that space. You need to be intentional with it. You need to schedule it. I have to put it on my calendar because yesterday it got to the point where I had to take the time. It wasn't an option. I needed it because it was just too much.
Yeah.
I had sensory overload going off everywhere. And what does that what happens if you just continuously are plugged in? Eventually it impacts your sleep. Did y'all know that going without sleep is worse than going without food or water?
I've noticed that. I've experienced that.
That is your body's time to regenerate. What does regeneration mean? It means to heal itself.
Yeah.
So you have to make yourself a priority. And I know for moms specifically, it's really difficult because we're nurturing people and we just have to take care of everything. And, but we got to hold it down. But we got to do this and that. Especially, there's a lot. And then men, because if anybody is like my husband, he works, like a slave. I'm gonna say it. He works like a slave.
Say it. I'm not offended.
I was like, dude, you just, okay. And so sometimes it's so bad. Sometimes I tell him, hey, yo, tell your other woman, tell your side chick.
Tell that side piece.
I'm talking about his job, y'all. Not no physical person. Tell your side chick that you had a family and that you need to come home.
Yeah.
Right? But he just is, and sometimes you just he gets one day off a week. Wow. And I try to make sure that he's unplugging, but he'll just keep working. I'm like, yo, sit down, right? But we have to take care of ourselves because you'll break down. Your body will demand that time and will demand you pay attention. Yeah. But usually that comes in a form of a breakdown or some other painful situation. Yeah. So let's just be good stewards over our bodies and over our minds and over our emotions.
That's real.
And be intentional. Take 15, 20 minutes and just sit. Unplug. Go for a walk. Look at some trees. Like I've been incarcerated in my house since COVID. I had to I'm gonna start walking. I'm doing irrational stuff. I'm like, you know what? Ain't ever painted like that. In the elementary school.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just start painting. And then I started painting and it turned out good. Like what the heck? We have to find ways because your body will respond. And get this, when you take care of yourself, your body responds to that too. So all y'all people that's putting on that COVID coat, the COVID
right there. Yep,
let's not even talk. But it'll start to melt away. Any tension in your body that you're holding in your body, that'll start to ease.
Nice. And in your experience, you're starting to see, you're a product of you know what? I'm self-care. You're starting to see the impact of the self-care and making time for you, right?
Yep. Now when I go to the car wash and they see me, they're like, usually they're like, oh, hey. And yesterday they said, oh, you cute. Ooh. I said, why? Yes.
You know it.
I actually got sleep.
Yes.
I'm taking a day. Yeah.
Taking a day from me.
Right?
And I
wasn't even trying to be cute. I was like, look at
that's
God.
Next level right there.
Hey.
When you're not even trying, and they see it, that's next level.
I'm like, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, that's
thank
real.
You.
That is so awesome. You're right. Because I think me and my wife, because me and her are with each other, we're with each other every week, every 7 days a week. We go to work together. We'll do this together. We're here at home. If she's not doing mom duties, I'm in here. But if I need her, she'll come here and help me. But she's doing this right now. But when we go out, we leave the kids home. We don't. Amen. They're expensive.
And, man, that could be a whole nother podcast because I just am like, hey, yo, I got the United Negro College Fund at my house. If y'all want to donate.
Alondra Cash App right here.
Them Negroes is expensive.
Yeah, my kids, they have expensive taste.
Yes.
They love what we love. And I don't like that's our fault. I think as parents, we failed our kids to only love sushi
No, look.
Like real
we're
sand.
driving
Like,
down the street before my good job. I said, where y'all want to have lunch? One kid said Burger King. The other kid said Wendy's. My one in the back, that's always the one. And Jade, you know I'm talking about you, girl. She goes, can we go to Red Lobster? I said, I almost ran. I was like, Red Lobster? I was like, hold up. Like, what? Dude, we went there like maybe twice in your lifetime. Why are you talking about Red Lobster?
The
like,
rolls.
we go there all the time. I said, you chill.
Yeah.
Chill. So who said McDonald's?
Yeah.
We're going there.
yo, income tax is next year, so we'll go then.
I told somebody that yesterday. I said I might take my kids to Texas Roadhouse. It'll probably be during tax season.
Oh my gosh. That is so true. Because I grew up that way too, man. It was like my dad, I knew when my dad got income tax and paid is when income tax. If we popping bottles, it's once a year. You know, my dad, you know.
I'm telling you, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
It is.
For some.
For some.
God bless you all who have to pay.
Yeah, that's real. But I know what me and my wife, we definitely take time, you know, and like one of the things we had on our good friend of ours, Andrea and Chris Wilson on, and they're business partners. They're a couple, you know, and they do a lot of stuff together. Our friend Daniel and Sarah, they're a couple that have a business together. So they're with each other every day. We have that. And the question was asked, my wife, and Sarah was like, how do couples ask, hey, how was your day when you're with them every day? You know, how do how do you relate to your spouse when you work with them every day, or if you're with them every day? You know, so that's kind of really where we're at. But I don't know, like when you say self-care, yes, because she knows I go out with my buddies, we'll go hang out. You know, and I know she makes time for herself. She'll just lay there on the couch.
Buddies, Laura?
Huh?
I have one. She's in Hanford though.
We gonna fix that.
Yeah, fix it. She needs some friends. She left Selma. So Selma don't. If you stay in Selma, you're in that bubble of Selma.
Gotcha.
Well, I was just. I think
Laura.
my whole marriage life, and then because I became a mom and a wife at the same time, so my focus was just in home. So now that the kids are older, like I don't have to change diapers, feed them. I don't have to prepare
Caleb's,
snacks.
maybe.
You know, I just have to have food in the house, and they'll find it. You know, but now the
What are they, rats?
they'll find it. You know, I don't have
to
feed it to them. You know, but I think just the past 2 years, it's like, oh, I don't have to do as much. You know, I still got to do laundry, basic stuff like that, but like taking. Like, man, I don't have a wardrobe. Or it's like,
I've grown out.
You know, so I think I need to do a better job at that because I don't get my nails done. I don't get my feet done. You know, I don't. It's very rarely I do my own hair. So
she's like, I can tell. No, I'm just kidding. That's me. Yeah.
Where do I need to take care of myself?
Yeah.
I think the last 2 years is like, okay, I need to take care of myself.
Yeah, one thing you need to do also is rediscover yourself. I mean, because from the transition from being mommy to coming to the point where now you got like more free time and you're just like, well, shoot, I got some time. And then you don't know what you're going to do. Well, that means that you need to rediscover yourself. My husband's the same way. And I'm like, well, what do you like? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite this? He's like, I don't know, you know, but it's like rediscover yourself. Find out what you like.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I know, I don't want to speak for her, but from my experience, man, when I had COVID and I knew I was going to die or I felt like it, a lot of our viewers, supporters know this story. The second time I went back in, I just had this feeling I wasn't coming back out, you know, and I sat all my family, it's 3 a.m, I sat them all down, apologized to each and every one, walking on eggshells, you know, me making you guys feel like, is dad in the mood? Is dad like this? Is dad this? Put an expectation on you guys. And I told my wife, I'm like, look, I've failed you. I've let you down to not let you be you. You know, you be the mother you are, but be Laura. Who is Laura? You know, it's like, and I told her if I die, sell all this, remarry, find someone better. Because I know I didn't treat you right growing up in the beginning of our marriage. And just for me to finally realize that these past 4 or 5 years, maybe it's too late. But these were my thoughts because I was like, I'm dying, man. I'm not coming back, you know. And so since then, I've noticed she's starting to take her time, her being her, you know. But it's always me and her, you know. I know it's very sensitive for her right now because, again, she wasn't taught this. She wasn't like her family. Her parents didn't teach her to know her value, self-worth, and all that.
Yeah, same.
It wasn't like they were bad people or they're just there. You know,
That
I think
wasn't
they were
what we
over-churched people.
Well, that wasn't what we did.
Yeah.
And then if you were in church, oh, you going home? What you mean
Yeah.
going home?
Yeah. Well, they
I'm
were
tired.
we were over-churched.
Yeah.
And so everyone thinks it's about the ministry, but yet, what about home? What about you? We didn't know when we left the church in Selma, we didn't know how to interact with other people. Mm-hmm. We didn't. So that's kind of where she's at, you know? So now that we're in this business together, and she's a part of the show, she's starting to interact with a lot more people. And she's starting to get, you know, like you said, girl, I got
That's
you.
what
She
I'm
needs
gotta
that.
know. Seriously, we'll go because we'll be
Yeah.
awkward together. I'm awkward as heck. I'm like, some of the stuff my kids be like, Mom. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so funny when they get older, I guarantee they're going to be like, yeah, we had a cool mom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to know. Like my kids now, they know me because I twerk in front of my kids. I have fun. Like I got out the car.
Visual, that's so
I got out the car one time and the song was hyphy. I was feeling some kind of way. I started doing that in traffic. My kids were dying. The kids are going to, like, they love how crazy I can get. You know, I'm just, you know, because again, when I met her parents, they were my age, 38, 39, 40. You know, and I'm 40. And well, technically next week I'm going to be 41, you know, because it's April 22nd. But, I don't know. I don't see myself as an old person as 41. I'm not. I still act like I'm 20, you know, because I mess around. I have fun.
Yeah, being old is a perception.
Yeah.
It's a state of mind. So even my grandfather used to do weird stuff. He'd pinch us with his toes just to get a kick out of it.
That's
Yeah.
Jose.
I do that.
was
I still do
like,
that.
Why? It would feel like a fire. Like, how were your toes that strong?
Cracking
That's why
walnuts.
I asked him. So how do you do that? I
How
try.
is
I
it-
cannot do it.
Me neither. I can pick stuff up, like if I drop a pin.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
But I crack walnuts with these Jones right here.
Nah,
You know.
yeah, he'd do that. He was so playful. One time I walked in on him and his aunt, my great aunt, she was blind, and so he was taking care of her, right? And she was fussing at him about something about because she got a spoon. He gave her a spoon. It was little, and she was like, "Why you give me this little spoon, James? You get this, you know?" And so he was like, looking like, you know, like annoyed, and he grabbed this big old spoon. I mean, the spoon was like this big, and I looked and said, "Papa," and he put it back, and he was like, he grabbed her a bigger spoon, a normal one, and gave it to her. I walk out the kitchen. I come back, and he's got this, you know, those little Mexican popsicles.
Yeah.
It was a strawberry one. He has it in front of her face, and she's sitting at the table. He said, "You can't see this. You can't see this," and she's blind, right? Like, she's really blind. And she was like, "Quit playing, James. Give me the popsicle." And I walked in, I said, "Oh," and he gave it to her real quick. I said,
Dang.
yelling. It's like, what the heck? So
Wildin'.
my grandfather was old, but he was, I mean, old to us because we knew him as Papa. You know,
Yeah.
but he was playful to the bitter end.
To the day.
Yeah, it was all jokes. All
Yeah,
fun.
same. That's how I am with our kids and all of us. We play around. It's like my kids trip out. They like really trip out. And it's funny, when I met my in-laws, they were my age. They were just old. It's like, man, y'all growing old too fast. You know, man, don't be old. And I'm 40. It's like, man, I don't know. Tangent over, but go ahead.
So Jose said he brought up his twerking.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
Right. What?
Well, because remember Kaylani?
Oh, yeah.
She got really excited. She was dancing, you know, and then she started twerking. And Jose was like, "What are you doing?"
Like,
and she's like, "You do it, Dad. I learned it from you."
I know, yeah. But it was weird. Like, I was like,
These
because
examples.
it was a Christmas and we were dancing. You know, we're all messing around, having a good time, setting up the tree. And Kehlani was dancing. I was like, "Ooh, get it, girl. Next level. Get it." And she was like, and she started going. I was like,
wait.
wait, yo, slow down.
You're skipping levels. You're
Yeah,
skipping levels.
it's like Chris Rock says, man, my whole goal in life as a father is to keep my daughters off the pole. You know, that's Chris Rock. Like,
That's a real goal. Though,
that is. And so, but she, man, no, heck no. But yeah, it was so funny. You know, I'm at a point in my life as a parent, as a father, because I slip, I cuss, I get, you know, especially when I'm driving, you know, especially being out of church too. And we're getting back into church, you know, God's good. But, like I let my kids make those mistakes. If my kids cuss, they learned it from me. So why am I going to be a hypocrite and be mad at them? You know, like my daughter saw me twerking. She's like, well, I know she's practicing in her room because the other daughter's like, Dad, Lily or Kehlani twerks and she practices. And I just roll my eyes. But it's like.
So my kids do the same. But I have one that's getting ready to be 18 and he'll see you twerking. He don't care if you old, young, doesn't matter. He gonna come and smack you. Cut it out. Stop it right now. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And they'll go, and the little ones will go snitch. My daughter's name is Jade. Jade's twerking. Lonnie, Jade's twerking. And he come out, where's she at? You know, it's like, what in the world?
Well, Caleb, you'll meet the kids in a bit, man. But Caleb's a big 12-year-old boy. He's as big as me. He's taller than his sisters. He's the young one. You know, and I know when he gets older and more wiser, instead of the 12-year-old, 13-year-old boy, he gonna know. He be like, man, what you doing? You know,
right? Exactly.
He gonna be the older little big brother, you know, and stuff. You know, but we're right. As parents, we're very honest with our kids, really honest. You know, we don't hide nothing. We don't try to keep them from it because eventually they're gonna learn
and
they're gonna find out. Yeah. So why keep? And that's how. I'll be honest. That's how she was raised. She was taught. You know, you can't say penis. You can't know what it looks like until you're 50. It's like what? You know, just so it's awkward to always say it, talk about it. You know, so our kids, we have those conversations with them.
We call all the body parts by their names.
Yeah. And it's like, and not try to make it feel like it's a weird thing.
Exactly.
You know, so as parents, we're learning that because my dad didn't teach us nothing. My mom didn't teach us nothing. We all figured it out. I was like, oh, what's this? You know, it's like, what is this? What do I do? You know, it's all weird. Yeah. Get it off. You know. You know, but that's how I do. That's how I play, and my kids love that. Man, my daughter Lily cracks up. She loves that about me, and so as parents, we're learning that because we're at the age we have 16-year-old, 15-year-old, and our son finna be 13 in May 12th. May 12th. See, yeah. So yeah, number one dad right here. You know, May 11th? See, I was wrong. Yeah, May 11th.
12.
Yeah,
11th? Yeah.
May.
Like I said, the 11th.
Yeah, May 11th, as I was saying earlier. But no, again, you're right. Because again, as parents, that's what we're learning. You know, to get back to the point is, like you said, self-care. You know, and so I hope for her, and I'll say this. And I told her, because I don't know why, call it me probably just being a crappy dad. And this is me putting my junk out there. Like I said, I'll just say it. I don't know why I never let her buy her own clothes. It's like she ought to had to ask me. It was weird, like younger, because we never had a lot of money. But yeah, I would go buy my own. You know, I just go do it, but never tell her. You know, I don't know. That was just, I had that mentality going in my marriage. I had that single mindset. I can just go do whatever I want. And her job is kids home. You know, and that to me was messed up because that's like when I went down and I was in the hospital, I realized all that. God gave me time to slow down, to realize how much I needed her in my life and who she was in my life and how I never took care of her like I was supposed to. Because the generic part of taking care of what men should do was there, but there was that next level of taking care of my wife. You know, and having her, like you said, make time for you. And I never did, and I'm guilty of that. You know, and that's why I want to be honest on this show, not like Jose has it together, his wife and everything. They're all, no, we're not, you know.
Dude, ain't nobody on this planet got it together.
Yeah.
I don't care what they say.
You know, and he talking to you, getting to know you, it's like, and you know, you hearing this, you're like, Jose, you probably a fool. You know, I am, you know, I am. But I'm learning and we're growing together, especially being so 17 years in May, you know.
Well, shoot, I'm still learning how to be a married woman. So, like the one time I ran out of, I paid all the bills or whatever, and I didn't have any money on me, but I needed gas. So I was like, dang, I got to ask my husband for money. And so I waited. I was like, hey, can I get $20? And he said, yeah, for what? I was like, oh, it's just gas. And he was like, you don't have any gas in your car? I said, no. He said, meet me across the street from my job at the Arco tomorrow, because it was at the end of the night, you know, that I had asked. And so I was like, okay. And I already knew he was annoyed by it. And so I got over there to the gas station. He fills up my tank and hands me $100 and says, stop doing that. And I was just like, when I was leaving, I was like, I just don't know. I just need to pay my own bills.
Yeah.
And I was like, but just being, understanding that like, we're in this together and we are a team and we are with each other. So like when I told that story to my best friend, she goes, oh, that was before you guys were married? I was like, no. She said, wait, what? I said, don't judge me.
Wow, yeah.
Like, so
change your tone.
things that I'm still just having to learn. I wouldn't say it's unlearning because I think it's important that, you know, I want to pay my own bills or whatever, but at the same time, to the detriment of like you up there like hoping and a wishing and a praying that you make it to the gas station, like or what, and you've got, you know, a husband that's willing or a partner that's, you know, willing to help you and support you, and I'm just not used to being supported in that way.
Yeah.
Because you know I'm a black woman, I do myself.
Come on,
you know. But then God is like, will you?
Yeah. Well, and see, that's what's hard, you know, because again, I've learned that my dad, you know, shout out to my pops. He never watched this stuff. Probably watching this. I love you. It's not shade on you, Pop. But my dad has a lot of women in his life, and it's like it was hard for him to take care of the new, and it, like even in introducing us to them. And I thought, it's like, do they join bank accounts as a kid? It's like, is that your money, theirs? Because we had this stepmom one time was like only buying food and stuff and making food for her kids and not us. Yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting. And not gonna lie, we didn't make it any better because me and my siblings were like locusts. We eat everything. You know,
you must be related to my children.
Yeah, and so, but the thing is, we didn't know no better. We didn't have a mother to take care of us and nurture us the way, like you being a mom to yours. I didn't have that. My mom was crazy Native American woman. Man, you know, and it was insane because I never once had, I can't say never, but maybe like out of 100%, she was like a 10% of a real mom to us. The rest of it was not. So I took that experience into our marriage, and that's how I treated it. It's like I didn't know how to treat a woman because my dad was with so much, and we didn't know, you know. So I didn't want to get all deep and all that, but I just feel like where we're at in our marriage and what you're talking about, you know, joining in together. It's like, and he's like, I'm independent, I'm this. When do those walls come down?
Exactly.
You know, when did the I'm doing me ends up stopping? It's like, no, we're doing us.
Yes. That's an excellent, and that's the question that you have to ask. And you have to like get beyond whatever triggers or boundaries or, you know, walls that you've erected to protect yourself, you know, from rejection or whatever you think is going to happen. And you have to figure out like, okay, at some point, just drop them, because I mean, it can come down little and gradually here and there. But, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going to be a team, you have to at some point say, okay, I'm going to let this go. Yeah. You know, and then I'm start thinking more about us instead of just about me. Yeah. And then in doing that, it's like the other person will, I mean, it makes them feel safe to do the same thing. Yeah. Because if I'm like, oh, you're pent up, you need to relax and you need to drop your walls, but then my walls is like right here. Yeah. I'm like reaching over the wall. You need to relax. Yeah. You know? You're just looking over the wall like that. Right. Calm yourself. Drop your walls. Right. You know, it's like, and then you cover. Exactly. You go back under the wall. It's like you drop yours first. I'll drop mine after. What wall? I don't have a wall. This is protection. Right? These are my clothes. Like, no, that's not it. That's true, because I know we live, look, I'm all about the powerful woman and women doing them. You know, we know the history of women not voting and the suppression of women and women's voices in general. You know, but I don't know. I just think we're at an age right now, because I see a lot of friends of mine that real close with. It's like, we don't need no man. It's only to their convenience. I mean, but it's like, I understand that. Maybe you can rebuttal me, and, you know, and I'm fine with that, you know, but it's like, how come it's only when it's a convenience? A friend of mine needed their tire changed, and it's like, you know, I'm going to go help them because they said they don't know how. So I'm like, we're close, let's go. And I did it. But the next post is like, we don't need no man. We're strong. I was like, you couldn't change your tire? You couldn't change your tire. Right. My whole thing is like, and when it comes to, so when I was single, you know, I just do the stuff myself, right? I've changed my own oil. I've changed the tire before, but then it came down to a matter of safety, because I couldn't get the lug nuts on there real tight because I lacked the physical ability to do so. Yeah. So am I going to ride in that car with my children on the freeway, talking about I ain't need no man, like, or it's like, and then, or I mean, if there was, I didn't even have access to a really strong woman either, so it's like, it's like somebody, I need help with my tires. So it's like at some point you have to differentiate between what does needing a man even mean? Like, what is it? I don't need a man to take care of me. I've learned to do that on my own. So okay, but what does taking care of me mean? I don't need a man to complete me, I think should be the statement. It shouldn't be, I don't need no man, because I mean, I've heard people say, I don't need no man, but then they want to have a baby. So I'm like, even if you go and do in vitro, that sperm came from somewhere.
Literally came.
There's only one of us of the two that can do that. We're not snails.
Speak on it. Yeah.
So it's like at some point we need to stop bringing everything to extremes and start bringing things back into a balance. No, I do not need a man to complete me. And no, I do not need a man. But do I want one? Yes. And get this. You should want to be a want rather than a need, because if I need you, there's an ulterior motive as to why you're around, because I need something. But if I want you, that means I have all these other options, but I chose you anyway.
Ooh.
Mic drop.
Come on. Y'all don't even know. Offering number 3, Cash App Alondra. Y'all just hearing some gems right now. That's so true. Because again, shout out to wifey. There's a lot of things that I know I need her to do in my life, because there's things I don't know how to do, and she does it for me. So I feel like that's how God created us, because when God created Adam, God saw, man should not be alone. So who did he make? The person that fills all his gaps, the person that knows that dude's going to be a mess up, and the wifey, the woman, will be there to help clean it up, and fix it up, and I didn't have no thing about me where women were under me. All I saw were women as object growing up. I didn't know how to treat them. All my buddies, I've said this before, my buddies, I've seen their uncles, how they treat women. And so I thought, hey, that's normal. I'm going to do it to her. And I did. And it was the rough 10 years of our marriage, And again, until like 5-6 years ago is when I started seeing, you can't be like this. You're acting one way, but and then again, it took someone like her to take it, but still not throw it in my face, but let God show me.
And I think that example is like a mirror image of how our relationship with God, because we be treating God crazy sometimes. We be like, you know what, you need to just be a genie in a bottle, and I need my bills paid, and just come out to do that and then go back. Or just, I'm gonna sit you over there, I'm gonna go have this good old time, and then when I get jacked up, I'm gonna come back and be like, oh, this happened, and that's the only time I'm showing up. So I think God puts people in our lives, like for me it was my children, and it gave me that perception of how he loves me. It's like, you just did all this stuff and you were rude to them, and because I wasn't a touchy-feely person. I wasn't hugged and coddled as a kid. And so, or even told I love you, and so I wouldn't do it. And my daughter walked by me one time and said, I love you. I said, I don't even know why. I was like, why would you do this? She's a kid, right? If somebody else would have saw that, you'd been like, what?
You'd be like, you calling me out? Right? What's your angle? Right? You plotting on me?
Right? And then so one time she hugged me, and she was a hugger. This is my oldest baby. She hugged me, and I was like, oh, get off me. Stop, go. And because I wasn't used to receiving that type of affection. And when I did that, immediately I heard the Holy Spirit say, do it again. He said, do not reject her when she's trying to love you. And so I was like, dang, all right. So next time it was really uncomfortable. And she hugged me, and I was just sitting there, and it was like the awkward hug, like, but it was weird. It spoke to some break in me that, or some area in me that just was not right. And if you're going to be a nurturer, you have to learn how to, I don't know, that's kind of part of the job, right? So I started forcing myself to do it and forcing myself to do it and forcing myself. And now it's like nothing. Now we hug all over the place. You know, I kiss you. I love you, baby. I love you too, you know, and it's normal.
Yeah.
But it wasn't normal in my household. Yeah. And so when God is like shifting our behavior patterns, it's like, I'm just trying to help you get closer to me, because when I go to embrace you, I don't need you batting me away either. You know, it's like, come close. I want you. Come here. You know, so I had to really learn that. I had to learn how to accept love.
Yeah.
So, wow.
That's so true. What, you seem like you got something to say.
No.
Say. Speak on it, girl.
She just is perfect. You know, you just broke it down. Very simple. And, you know, when Jose says, you know, hurt people, love people, love people. And I feel like we're opposite, but we work together. Like, I do help him in areas that he needs help in, and he helps me.
Which is a lot for me.
He helps me too, you know, because he's a social bug. He could talk to anybody. I can talk, but
there's a limit.
I need a little help with conversation. You know, my life is just kids. You know, what are you doing? I have kids, and so relate. You know, but
I got you on the conversation.
Y'all gonna have a lot to talk about.
But we just work. You know, he helps me and I help him, and it took a while. It took a while for us to like finally click. Yeah. Before we didn't know how to click. We love each other. Right. It's just it's like you learn to love each other every day. Yep. It's like you learn yourself every day is different, and you have to learn the other person too. Yeah. And it's just working together.
Yeah, I was thinking back on when you were saying, like, how do you know, talk to each other, say, oh, how was your day when you guys spend so much time together? Start changing the question to how do you feel? What are you feeling right now? Well,
I think that's
something. Y'all don't walk around talking about your feelings all day, do you?
Well, no, really. Not so much. No.
See, there you go. Yeah. I was like, unless you do, then we'll find a different question.
Yeah. So, we gonna clap? No? Let's go. I'm feeling it, you know. But again, you're right, because I know, because I gotta stop. My whole thing is that my mind is always go, and I gotta stop assuming she knows where I'm at. You know, and that's where I think I've hurt our relationship, or not. I don't know, not hurt or damn, but I just think that's what caused us to go like, I don't know, just off track. You know, and me assuming, because I do go. You know, when I had COVID and I was down, it was stopped. It was everything. Start over, tracks, you know, do not pass go, do not collect $200, right. You know, and all that was left was just me, my family, and my wife taking care of another baby. That's really what it came down to, because I couldn't shower, I couldn't move to my living room, I couldn't move nowhere without my oxygen levels going down to death, you know, and yeah, and so that's what slowed me down. And you know, my wife told me something, you know, because I did the first time, I thought I passed out, but they said they had to resuscitate me. I died, and they brought me back. It was fast. I thought it was passed out, but, you know, my wife told me, she said, Jose, she said, you died. So God literally started you over when you came back. So what you decide to put back in is all up to you now. Wow. She's the old is literally gone because you had that. You know, and so I'm very careful now, and not perfect, man, but now I'm starting to feel more accountable to myself, and starting to be more aware, self-aware, because like I said, we hear self-awareness, but until you really experience true self-awareness, then you don't know what you're doing or how you're treating people, how you look, how you act, you know, and then I was self-aware of how I treated my family. It was just, Dad's on the go, get out of my way, I'll run you over.
That part.
That I was that guy, and stay ahead, catch up, you know. And it's like, you know, we're in our business now. It's a family business because our kids are learning what we do. They want to do this stuff, you know. So we have it's just the privilege and honor that our kids want to do this, and it's so awesome. And so now it's like, look, if y'all want to make real money, catch up, learn quick. But, you know, we're with you in the process now. I'm not going to just leave you in the waves of, all right, catch up. You know,
right.
We get too busy.
I told God, when I show up to you in front of you, because we all going to get there, I was like, I don't want to show up empty handed. And then I don't want to show up without my kids, because if I got everybody in my basket except my kids, something's wrong with that. Something's wrong with that. And
That's
so
real.
if we can make our primary ministry our families and then work outwardly, I mean, you're going to work outwardly anyway. If you're focusing on your family and making sure that you two are in line with each other and encouraging each other and, pushing each other to the finish line, and then you're doing the same thing with your kids will reach people that you never will, and then so on and so forth, because God's into multiplication, right? So that's the type of thing. And then we all have our different experiences, or how we all may have experienced the same thing, but it impacted us differently, and so then it gives us something a little bit more unique that we can go out and talk to somebody else about, or encourage someone else in that thing. So it's like we can't like neglect the importance of doing the self-evaluations, because self-care and self-evaluations are really closely related. If you're not going to evaluate yourself, how will you even know where you need self-care?
That's true, man. Again, we're going to take offering number 4. That's so real. You know what you're talking about. That's so true. And I look, when you said that, I was thinking about while you're speaking, I was like, man, I learned the hard way. A lot of people watching, listening, being so young marriage, young relationship, just a young person in general, y'all getting some advice that you could actually start applying now and be so far ahead.
Right.
When they're our age.
And that's the point. We want 2.0 versions of ourselves.
Facts. That's
do
so
it
real.
better.
Yeah, do it better. And that's what I want my kids to be, because my dad growing up, I felt, he never outright said it, but I always felt my dad didn't want me to be better than him. It's like, don't make more money than him and all that. And I feel like that kind of way about her family, the way they treated her, and it's like, I want my kids to be better than me. Like right now, I'm telling all my kids, look, y'all going to be, my daughter, my middle one's really the gifted one. She's the one that, she taught herself to draw in a year, use Photoshop in a week, Procreate, got to my iPad, so she's drawing some crazy stuff.
That's tight.
And I'm like, dang, girl, I hate you, but then she's teaching herself guitar. She taught herself the harmonica.
Yeah.
What the heck?
She taught herself the harmonica. She's like, yeah, dad. And she just like starts ripping on the harmonica, and she taught herself the bass. It's weird.
That's tight.
I'm like, man, but
I had a kid that did the same thing with the drums. He was like, oh, I want to be in rock band. I said, yeah, you haven't done anything to be able to get into rock band. Why would you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, whatever. So the school called, hey, Jelani wants to be in rock band. Would you like to sign him up? I said, well, he doesn't have any formal training. Like, he's never touched a drum set, ever. When I say never, like, I'm not joking.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Air drums?
That's not with, no.
No, not even air drum.
He used to beatbox, but that's not the same. So it's like, so they were like, oh, well, if it's okay, then we'll go ahead and put him in. I said, all right, whatever. So we go to a recital. Well, he comes home first. He says, hey, I made first chair. And the very first thing in my mind that I thought, and don't judge me, I was like, man, them other kids must have sucked.
For you to not have drums.
Oh, did you make first chair? Right? Yeah. So we go to the recital. And this kid is playing the drums, both hands, both feet, just doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this. I said, wait, what? When did I know I raised this one?
Yeah.
It's like,
don't sell yourself short, girl.
Learn?
Come on. Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy the stuff but like I said, pressure will bring stuff out of you, or the desire, which is still a type of pressure, will bring stuff out of you that you never even knew was there. What would happen if if your baby wasn't focused on, that's probably part of her self-care.
Yeah.
She expresses musically in musical instruments. What would have happened if you hadn't, through a part of your self-care started all of this, you know? Because it's therapeutic for you, and it's like, what would have happened if, you had decided that you weren't gonna, be a stay-at-home mom or be focused more on your kids and go out and like really make a career for yourself. It's like, that might not have even been your thing, but you guys are focusing on because in response to the pressure of life, this is what came out. And it doesn't always have to be something like, frantic, thrown together, like sporadic.
Yeah.
It could be something like I said, we were blending a family, just bought a house, just got married. I was stressed, and we were on lockdown together. Wow. And so out came painting. Who knew? So it's like the stuff that I think God wants us to have more experiences like that. With the pressure that he gives us, he wants to know, what are we going to do with it? It doesn't necessarily have to break you down. If you're spending enough time in self-care, you'll find things in you that you never knew were there.
Come on. Y'all don't even know. To hear it and listen to it, you know, from your phones on YouTube and all that is different than experiencing what you're saying in person. To me, it's encouraging 100%. Because again, I know it's only gonna help and build our relationship, me and my wives and my families. You know, we're definitely, again, I'm always trying to make this. How can I grow from this conversation? Every podcast, how can I grow from this? You know, I've learned to not like try to interrupt because I just want to get my point across. Because I'm that guy, you know. You know, my wife's like, slow down, let Johnny speak. you know. So again, and let the guest speak. And man, we are to have this experience again, man. When I never want to get in a mindset where I fully have arrived and I know. But again, because today talking to you right now, I've learned so much. And I just want to thank you for your time, like you said, because I know what you got going on. I know you got the family. Y'all got like the Brady
I'm
bunch.
Here hiding.
Yeah.
They know I'm coming back.
Yeah, man. But I'm so glad you came out and did this. I really appreciate your time because what you do is. It's a lot, you know what you're doing. You're handling it like a queen. And to me, my wife knows I love what's up, queen? You killing it, queen. You know, I'm all about that. I'm like, yeah. You know, speak it. I'm on it. I'm with you on it, you know. And I love being that way, man, especially when someone like my cousins or my wife's uncle. She has two uncles, right?
Yeah.
So he's gay. So his boyfriend is named Jose. Every time I get gay with him, I'm like, "What's up, boo?" He's all, "What's up, bitch?" And the way he does it, he's like, all the time. And I get really gay around him, but we have fun. I love that energy when somebody can just call me that, or we act that way, and I can act this way.
It's connection.
Energy.
It's the energy.
Yeah.
It's hey, I'm not mad at you. We don't have to, you know, even if we have disagreements or things that are different, so what, man?
Yeah.
Come over here. Let's chill. Let's kick it. Like, get over here. You want in my house? You want some food? You want to eat?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
For real?
Come over here. Come over, eat the bread, girl.
Yo, get those tortillas.
Yeah, right. Take your tortilla.
You know, I bet it's Blaxican food, you know.
It's whatever. You know, it's like, wow.
That's so.
Tell me how you really feel, man. Like, like, be honest.
I know. Come on. That's so funny, man. And I love your energy. I would love to sit down. Maybe, I don't know where your daughter is at with her addiction. Maybe talk about that.
Yeah.
If she's comfortable.
She is. She's very comfortable. And my daughter is like one of my biggest inspirations because watching her transition from the point where I was saving pictures of her off of Facebook.
Wow.
Because I didn't know if I was ever going to see her alive again. You know, she was literally homeless, like the shopping cart, the box, sleeping in the park, the whole
You have all
nine.
those still?
I do have my pictures of her when she was in her addiction. It's like night and day looking at some of the stuff. And I didn't know. I mean, it's a hard thing when you don't know where your child is. And you don't know if they're going to be, you know, she had been sexually assaulted. She's a, sexual assault survivor and she's lesbian. And, growing up in a church and with a Christian mom and her being lesbian, that was a hard, that it made her feel like and I didn't even realize I was making her feel like she was not loved, not just by Jesus, but by me, and so just walking through that and seeing who she has become today, and we have so much in common when it comes to the tragedy stuff, because we're both sexual assault survivors, and we're both, we dealt with addictions, but just different ones. But she looks most like you can see a version of myself in every phase of who I was with my children. If you look at each child, you'll see, or at least I do. Once you get to know me a little bit, I'll be like, ooh, I didn't mean to pass that on like that. She shouldn't have that. She shouldn't have that. It's like, that's one of the worst things about parenting is seeing the you that you tried to kill in your kids, like, reflected back at you and like, Doc, kicking rocks. Like,
all day. I'm starting to see that now with ours too.
So, but watching her triumph, watching her continue to blossom and continue to grow, that reminds me, thankfully, of like, hey, shoot, at least if I would have quit in my addiction, she probably would have quit in hers too. So it means more. And going back to that individual that you were talking about, like if somebody is down in the dumps or whatever, like that right there is what I'm talking about. If I would have quit, my children, I don't know what would have happened to them.
Yeah. Dang, that's so true. I would love to have her on if she's up for it. When she got time, both of you guys come out, we'll talk it up. And, you know, because, again, I love those stories. I love being in the dirt, but I love rising from it. I love those stories.
Oh, she's a hoot, too.
That's awesome.
You think I'm funny. That one.
Man, getting both y'all on, that'd be so dope.
Oh, yeah. And we'll bring food.
We heard food. Then let's go tomorrow. We shooting this. Hold on, y'all gonna watch us eat, you know.
Smacking in the microphone. It's like, a piece of chicken.
You know? Oh, I'm sorry. We're shooting a pod right now, Laura. You know,
they can see me.
But no, I'm serious. I love your story. I love you. I love your inspiration, who you are. You're so full of energy and light. And to me, that's what a reflection of God's love is. That's what it should be. That's what everyone should take notice of, that when you are walking his light, not just like, hey, I'm a Christian, I love Jesus. No, you live it. People see it. You know, the good friend of mine, one of my mentors, told me best message preached is without words.
Absolutely.
And that changed my life. And ever since then, that's always been my staple here. We'll talk about it because it's a show. We'll talk about it, but cameras are off. And she can look me in the face. She's like, he's real. My kids can look me in the face.
Part.
And I can look in the mirror and be good with what I see. That's real. Like you said, family, ministry first. My family's first. You know, I don't want to go change everyone else's life, but my family's all messed up.
That part.
Yeah.
We do theater. And so sometimes we perform whenever there's a show or whatever, if we decide to join in. And one thing that I was like, I need to get a bumper sticker made that said, drama is my profession, not my lifestyle.
I like that.
Because it's like, we put on these masks, we put on the costume and all this stuff, but that's not what you should be doing just to be in front of people.
Well, in saying that, then we do this thing. I didn't mean to cut you off. I did that final. You're here. But in saying that, then we do this thing on the show. Last words, last thoughts before we close out. Anybody listening, watching, you know, hearing, what's your last word of encouragement to them, you know, out of all we talked about today?
I would say stay focused. Stay focused on who you want to be, where you want to go. There are so many things pulling our perception, our attention in every direction. Stay focused. Stay focused on who you want to be, who you want to become, what you want to do, where you want to go, where you want to grow. And then keep yourself primed and ready for that to happen. So there's a lot of things that we do. We like, well, I don't know how to do, you know, XYZ. Like, I didn't know, I have a book that I'm writing and I don't know how I'm going to put this all together, but I'm focused on the fact that I need to get the words out onto the page. I know that as for Alondra, I know that I can put something in this document and continue with the words until it sounds like a good book or whatever. And then from there, like getting it published and all that stuff, we'll deal with that when we get there. However, I'm focused on getting the words out of me and put somewhere because that's what I can do at the time. Yeah. So find what you can do at the time to get you there and focus on that. Focus on who you want to be, where you want to go, where you want to grow, and write those things down. Always have them in front of you. Talk to yourself. You know, say, this is what's going to happen with me. This is what is happening with me. Talk about it in the now, because your mind does not understand gonna do or past tense. It only understands what's happening now. So this is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. And then keep yourself primed and ready. You, as much as you can. I don't care if you got YouTube is a wonderful resource. You'll find all kinds of content on there that'll help you get from point A to point B. But focus on that. Surround yourself with cool people that's like, yeah, you can do that. Anybody speaking death to your dream or death to whatever you want to do, don't talk to them about that. Cast not your pearls before swine. It's not to call the other person a pig, but it's more so to say, how would a pig understand the value of your pearls? Well, so stay focused. This life was not made to be easy, but it was meant to be mastered. And the mastery of life builds muscle. So you can do that and you can take other people with you because they're watching you. It doesn't matter what happened to you before. I've survived all kinds of stuff, every form of abuse that there is. I've been homeless. I've been like Paul, I've been shipwrecked. You know, I've been like, you know, run amok, like led astray, run amok, like Malcolm X, like, but at the end of the day, I decided who I was going to be and I held on to that and and with the help of healthy people around me that was saying, yes, you can, I am achieving my goal every single day. Not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. However, I'm not who I was before. And so if I can do it, you can definitely do it too.
All right, you got offering number 5. I'm going to keep running with
We'll work for food.
Yeah, we work for food. Texas Roadhouse. Give us some gift certificates.
Yeah, bring them.
Come on. What about you, Laura? I know, I bet this resonated with you. I can tell.
I wish I had a notebook. I have to watch this video. I'm going to watch this podcast several times just to write down all these great, words. Thank you so much. You seriously have blessed me. Your testimony is amazing. That strength that we have, it just really resonates with me. And it makes sense. Jose always says, you just put the period after my sentence. And thank you so much.
Yeah. I love that.
Period.
Yeah, you finish. I call it it's our life sentence. Like, we're writing this sentence in life. It's like, man, what's that thing I'm trying to say or do? Then you say, you're like, oh, that was it. That's the period I need. That's the finish I needed for the next chapter. Again, I got all those too. She's never said that to me, so I'm feeling. But no, I love I love your message. I love who you are. I love what you do. Keep doing it. There's a big partnership. I know we're gonna be doing a lot of stuff together, especially when it comes to the foundation. Again, I love the fact that because you even said you love what we're doing. You love what it stands for, what it's going to be and do, and it's going to do a lot, man. I'm super excited to get this message out, and definitely just to help promote you, just get you the business and the money. Girl,
I'm not going to say no.
Yep, the cheddar. Everyone's like, oh, it's not about the money. No, it is, man. We got some bills.
Well, bills, and you can't. It's hard to reach people without money.
Yeah. That's true.
So it's hard to change lives without money and resources. So even if it's a gift in kind, hey, let's go. I paint. You want to give me some canvases? Cool.
All right. No, definitely. We'll do that.
Just different stuff. Like, it doesn't even matter. If we can do something together and make a difference in this world, but it does take money.
It does. And we definitely are going to be doing that here. Fresno County, Central Valley, man. And I'll just say Kairos Media Foundation is still building. We're definitely going to get it going, and to have you part of it and helping us is giving me that much more light at the tunnel. I'm seeing it now. It's going to happen.
And real quick, I also do like gatherings where we sit and we paint images, like whatever. It's not like a sip and paint. I mean, there may be wine, but you don't have to partake in that, or just there might not be a specific picture. It's just about creating, getting yourself used to creating and putting stuff on canvases. So
is it like almost like that prophecy painting where they just paint?
Yeah, there is prophetic painting.
Prophetic art. Prophetic art, and you just paint.
And even if you're not a religious person, it's just therapeutic to put something. You got this blank canvas.
Where do you do this at?
I do it wherever.
Okay.
And so it moves around here and there. But you got a blank canvas. You can put something on it that you can look at. You created that. You got to say what ended up happening with that. So yeah. I
love that. So again, we're gonna have social media, everything in the description below. We're gonna start sharing these. If you guys seen all the teasers this week, give Alondra a follow, support her, buy her art.
That part.
Buy the art.
It goes to a really good cause. It's not just lace in my pockets.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
It'd be nice. Yeah.
But it goes back into this work that we've been talking about.
That's what's up. You guys heard it from here, so tune in. You guys, I know this was a long podcast, but you know what? Expect it, because there's a great message behind all this. Again, Alondra, thank you for your time. Thank you for everything you do, especially for coming on the weekend. I know weekends like chill. We need to, relax.
Kids at the house. I was happy to come.
Peace. Y'all make your own grub.
Cereal for
Sleep
everybody.
in until 1 p.m. I guarantee one of our kids are asleep. So, but you guys, thanks for tuning in, man. You guys follow Alondra, man. Get in contact with her for your business. If you guys have a nonprofit, man, this girl will help and kill it for you. Support local businesses and all these creators, people that just do some dope stuff. That's what Still Here Podcast is, and we'll stand for, represent, and help here in the Central Valley. We love you guys. Stay tuned for the next podcast. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.